The Tampa Bay Buccaneers ran up and down the Eagles' defense, scoring the first 24 points and having basically the game in hand midway through the second quarter. At one point, they had over 200 yards of offense while the Eagles had none. Now, if you're thinking about how the Eagles got here, yes, they were playing in 100-degree heat with humidity. Yes, they didn't have A.J. Brown, no Devontae Smith, no Lane Johnson. Acknowledge that, absolutely. But still, they had Dallas Goedert, who had the game of his life in the previous game against the Saints, and still have Saquon Barkley. And you would think, being bereft of these weapons on the outside, that they would establish a run game and commit to the running game. No. Nick Sirianni likes to do things his own way and still is putting his nasty little hands on all of this offense that is so talented. He won't let Kellen Moore do his job. And still, we haven't seen the consistency from this team. Week to week, it's been a roller coaster. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad, 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad. And even in stretches of the game, they haven't even put a complete game together. I understand there's new coaches, new lingo, new players, but when are the excuses going to run out for this guy? Because consistency absolutely matters in this league. That brings a winning formula to a certain team. And despite all these changes, 2023 and how it ended is still looming over this franchise, because the way that team ended last year, they lost to Tampa Bay in dominating fashion, lost last week to Tampa Bay in dominating fashion. They have a particular boogeyman in this league, but then the rest of the league is also catching up to the Eagles, where they don't stick to the run. You have Saquon Barkley, and you keep giving it to Jalen, who, let's face it, he has a turnover problem. He had another bad fumble when they had a chance to cut this to a one-possession game, but just didn't do so. Still, defensively, it's been up and down, but still not really consistent. The edges aren't getting any type of pressure, and that's allowing a guy like Baker Mayfield, who didn't have his offensive line at full strength. In fact, the week before, they gave up 7 sacks. They shored that up against a really talented defensive tackle lineup, but didn't get the job done, and Baker Mayfield tore them apart. 347 yards passing and had 3 touchdowns on the day. Just not good enough. And I don't know what to really make of the Eagles. As a 2-2 team, they're right there, mediocre, middle of the pack, but this next stretch is going to be pivotal for how we see the 2024 Eagles, because after the bye week, they get some mid-level, weaker competition. There's Cleveland, there's the Jaguars, there's New York in there, and they're going to have to find a way to pull out some wins and get some consistency there. If not, it could be the end of Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia.